I'm gonna hit the go live.
Yeah.
We're scheduled for 9 o'clock, so it should just go live at 9 o'clock automatically.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me
And I'm
turn.
I'm looking at it from my phone.
Oh, right. That's what I got to do
So
right
I'll turn the volume down.
now.
Yeah, there
Right.
you go. Good.
I am so happy to have you here, Dana, and doing this
Yes,
with
I'm
me.
glad. Yeah, this is
Um,
great. This is
maybe
fun.
I hope we can do more stuff together.
Yeah, definitely. As things progress, there's going to be a lot of info that comes out, a lot of support for people that are awakening.
Mhm.
Nice. All right.
Are we live? We're live now?
Yeah, looks like we're live. Yeah, we're live.
Hi, everybody. We're just chatting a little bit here. Welcome back to my show, Intuitive Insights in Tarot. I'm Scott, and I want to welcome Dana. We're going to be talking about angels. And before I get into it, I'd like everybody to know that I am available for private readings. I have my website in the description. It's People say it's hard to find the description on their phone. If you look underneath our names, there's a you have to get out of the chat. There's a little button that says more. You have to click on that, and that's all I want to say. I do. Look for specials. If you're a new client who's never been with me before, I'm running a special price for you. All right. Uh, Dana, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing excellent. Very good. Thanks for asking, and thank you for having me on the this platform again to talk about angels and talk about tarot and putting them together. And I think before we talked, have a feeling we're the first ones to actually try to combine them together.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
When I was
Yeah.
doing my research, I tried to find, which archangels go with which major arcana cards. I couldn't find anybody's ever done work on this before. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we might
Well,
be the first.
there are some oracle cards that Radley Valentine did with Hay House, where he created some pairings. But I feel like we really did a good job with our pairings.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about this.
Me too.
Yeah.
So shall we dive right in?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, before we dive in, I just want to make sure all of you know that I had a reading with Scott, and it was like a pre-call reading where we talked about certain issues in my life, and it was really important to me and to our family, and it was really helpful. Life changes like putting your son in different schools and dealing with just the personal things that came up, and my business, which is from fertility to delivery, which is also my humanitarian project. We talked a lot about that, and that was really important for me to look at what my direction is. I remember the cards; it's seared in my memory. I had the Five of Cups, and then I went to the Wheel of Fortune. And for
Mm,
me, that was like,
hmm
okay, yeah, that's exactly
hmm
how I feel right now. I'm kind of like,
Yep.
like this isn't fast enough, and then it's just gonna boom soon. So
Yep.
I'm excited.
And
Thank you for
and for
that,
those
Scott.
for those who are wondering what the significance of the Five of Cups and the Wheel of
Mm.
Fortune is, Five of Cups is when um, you're going like outside of the matrix, right? You're going on your own. You're sticking to something you believe in because you're passionate about it, not because it's going to make you money right now. And then the Wheel of Fortune means that that eventually, if you
Mhm.
stay with this long enough, it will turn around and it will bring you fortune. So great. That's wonderful that you remember that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was, and knowing enough about it, it was very helpful to see that and to know that that is what's my future card. That was great. So thanks.
I'm glad I'm honored that I was able to help you with that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's dive into this. Thank you for that endorsement. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yeah.
You did it just the way I told you to before the show.
I take good notes. That's funny.
All right. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that was a joke. Okay, so oh, I need to call up my notes here.
Hmm.
So yeah, I got this idea when I was listening to you and Honey do your show, and
Yes.
I don't. It just came to me that there should be a pairing between tarot cards and the archangels because they come up sometimes. Oh, and I remember I remember when Janine had her tarot tort oh, can't even say the word now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was free on YouTube, and she said that the angel that's in the card Temperance was
Hmm.
Archangel Michael. Now I'm not sure that but anyways, that just gave me the idea that certain cards can go with certain archangels.
Yeah.
And the way I did it was I wrote down all of the major arcanas in order, starting with the Fool down
Hmm.
to um, the Star. Now, they don't all fit, right? Because there are 22, I think, major arcanas, and I can't remember how many angels that you gave me in your list, but it was only
Yeah.
like 15 or so.
Yeah. Those are the most recognizable, but there are more.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And we
many
could,
more.
and
They might
and
not have names. Hmm.
I can go in because I've got more made cards that don't have matches, so we
Yeah,
can do part two to this.
that's right. Nice.
Okay. Hmm.
And of course, we want to touch on the negative aspects, the polarity of this. Did you want me to bring that up
Let's do
now?
that first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So we have had a lot of buzz about the Elohim. And I know a lot of you that are listening to us are probably listening to Honey because she's also on this channel a lot. Uh, TBJ, Beyond Mystic, which is fine. You pick who you would like to listen to and how you spend your day. And when we start talking about fallen angels, Elohim, demons, however you want to put that together, we have to kind of look back at history and look at what we've already researched on our own. So many of us, especially the folks that are watching right now, you already know about the Anunnaki and the Alpha Draco and negative beings like that. Um, the Rep and then Tillians. I don't know if I can say that, and then of course the archons.
Mhm.
So before we go into a really deep dive into them, because I don't want to let them feel like we're trying to connect with them, because we're not. We can do like a quick just clearing. So for what I do, a lot of people use bubbles or what I do is a waterfall of light. And I did this before I even knew that I knew about the chakras or anything. I just see a waterfall of light coming through my crown chakra, going through all of my chakras, through my core, down, down, down to the feet, and then all the way into Mother Earth. And
Great.
I just feel and visualize all of that light, wonderful air coming through, water coming through me. You can see it as water, a waterfall of light, whatever you want to see it as. And it's sparkly and effervescent and almost like champagne. And as it's going through you, it clears you completely. And you make sure that once you let it clear you, you cover up the crown chakra. And I kind of just visualize that as going into a pool of water and putting my whole face, head into the water until it covers me like this. And then after that, I put myself in a disco ball and everything is mirrored and I can see out, but nobody can see in. And then I'm protected. So whatever works for you guys, but that's what I do.
I love that. I
Yeah.
felt like I was experiencing it as you were describing it. So very well
Hmm.
done.
Thank
And
you.
and you reminded me since we are about to talk about the dark side a little bit.
Mhm.
You start. I'm going to grab a lighter and light my sage.
Wow. Yes, good
I'll
idea.
be right back.
Yes, so I'll go ahead and start. And we're going to talk about all of the major arcana today. And we did try to pair all of the angels and the fallen angels with the negative and the positive aspects of the major arcana. Now, as you all know or may know, or you're learning, that the major arcana is about archetypes. So it's about the protector. That could be the emperor. It's about the divine feminine. That could be the empress. So that's what we're kind of doing today, and we're piggybacking on what I did with Honey in the the angels video that I did with her, and we could probably link that in the description, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
put it in the comments so that if you're unsure or you haven't seen that video, you could go back and take a look at it. But basically, I've picked up around 15 archangels to present in that video, and we talked about them and the benefits that they can give us while we're going through ascension and all the wonderful things. We talked about the negative beings, but maybe we didn't talk about it enough because maybe it was too positive. And then we had this explosion of Elohim jargon, conversation, and some people need that, right? And some people don't need it. So that's what, that's what kind of happened, been happening recently. I'm sure a lot of you, I'm not looking at the chat right now, but I'm sure a lot of you have been
Yeah.
seeing those videos,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And so we can start with the Elohim. What we've seen, and I have watched the videos that have come out about the Elohim, that basically what's coming up around them is the archonic energy, which archons are negative beings. They don't have any shape or form. They're just energy and thought. And they live in the second, third, and fourth density slash dimension. I know those are two different things, but let's call it dimension for the sake of this conversation because it's a little bit easier to explain. And they don't have any form, and they do feed off of fear. They feed off of loosh,
Noosh,
and
right.
they're very tricky. And a little tip for you that I've learned from Sherry Divband, who works for the Aramis Collective, is creating the Aramis Learning Center. Loosh spelled backwards is the word school. Okay.
That's right.
So that's
Wow.
kind of, that opens up your mind to what school is really about. All right.
Right. Yeah.
And so the card that I gave the Elohim, and which also came up in readings when a lot of the truthers were talking about them, is the Devil card. It just
Right.
made sense, and I think we
Right.
both agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move on to fallen angels. So what we learned about in Bible study and Bible class, going, as a Seventh-day Adventist growing up, which that's my parents were, and then I was, and then so was Scott.
Well,
Yeah, so
I actually converted
converted.
from
Okay.
Catholicism to
Yeah.
the Seventh-day Adventist.
Wow, that's a big conversion. So yeah, we learned about the fallen angels. And I would give that card the tower
That's
because
right.
it's very quintessential to falling, basically. And falling from grace, that shock and revelation of going from the highest of high to the lowest of lows and becoming
Mm-hmm.
dark and creating that paradigm shift, that would definitely for me be the tower. And then when it comes to the third major arcana, that's a little negative or negatively aspects the cards that it's around, it would be the moon. And the moon I would give to demons in general, and also the Luciferian demons, to be specific. These particular demons are found in Rome, in a city that starts with the letter V and ends with the letter N. I'm not going to say it, but people know what I'm talking about. And it's basically headed by someone that is seen in a very positive light with a lot of people, but there's a white one, a gray one, and a black one. So you know what I'm
Right.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's hidden in the shadows. It's very surreptitious, just like the moon card. And when these particular demons are cleared from people's space, they they shake, they hiss. These are the type of clearings that you see when when you watch a movie and you see I was like washed by the Jesus and the demon came out of me and like these people are hissing and acting crazy. These are the types of demons that come out of them. Whether they are also fallen angels, I'm not sure, but this is the type of um, just grotesque natures that we are talking about right now. And that's why we did this, like the protection at the beginning, because we're not trying to conjure anybody, we're not trying to talk to anybody. We're just trying to show you that yes, there is a polarity. They have their major arcana as well as the the positive beings.
Mm.
Yeah.
And okay, so let me make sure I got this right. You said the devil is the L's, the
Yeah.
L, can't say
Elohim.
it.
And
Uh,
I'm saying that the Elohim are the archons and the Anunnaki. And, any sort of malevolent extraterrestrials, basically. Mm-hmm.
um, I'm glad you mentioned Archon and Anunnaki. So Archons are these like disembodied thought forms, evil thought
Yes.
forms. And
Hmm.
you can think of those as being the eye that's on the tip of the pyramid, the top of the pyramid that's on your dollar. Those are the ones that you never know about. Um, but the Anunnaki are more like alien beings that were 20 foot tall or whatever. Now,
That's right.
I'm thinking they should be connected to the moon as well as the demonics,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
because the moon isn't really a body, a rocky body.
Mhm.
It was their spaceship. Uh,
Right.
that's how they got here was with that. So I'm going to put the Anunnaki down there with the
Yeah,
moon.
that's good. And with the archons, you can also call them the inorganic ones because there is no tangibility to them. Just like you said. That's
In
great.
a way, they're like an ancient AI,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Without a vessel. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And they're able to enter into us vessels.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
when I was pregnant with our first son, because his essence was so big and vast, and my light is pretty fun as well. I don't know if I'm big, but I'm fun. I personally think I am because I've done the work. I continue to do it every day, but I was overtaken by a being that was trying to suck our energy, and it was really hard. And now that I look back on it, it was either an Archon or an Anunnaki, and I didn't know enough to like clean it up off of me. And I know I've heard Honey talk about that too, where someone was attacked while they were pregnant with twins, and she was explaining like that's what happened, that this demonic entity saw two light beings within another light being, and it was big and juicy and they had to have it. So
yeah.
it's real.
You remember the reading that I did on your son and what came up, and
Mhm.
that was why. And
Uh-huh.
he's going to, according to the cards that I got, he's going to grow into be a great spiritual leader. And they're I'm getting
Yeah.
chills talking about this. And they did that was an attack. He also could have been turned into if he didn't have a good mother like you, like I told you, like if he had been like
Uh-huh.
orphaned or something, he would have grown into the great evil leader. I'm just
Yeah.
saying because the energy they would have attached to him, and he's just got so much of this light
Hmm.
and energy. Anyway, so I'm
Yeah.
really glad that we did that reading, and
Hmm.
that's when you decided to put him in this other school because that other school you looked at had all these dark things attached to it.
Yeah. I just did
I
not get a good feeling.
hope
And you
it's
got to go
okay
with
that I
that. Even
brought
when it
that up.
doesn't make sense, when it doesn't look good on paper, that's really when you got to look at it
Yeah,
because there's something wrong. And loosh backwards is school. Don't forget that. There's something
yeah,
to that.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Hmm.
now, last thing I'm going to bring up about this, the gentleman who wrote the book, The Angel Deception, you wrote his name down. What's his name?
Yes. So Paul Wallace.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Great. I mean, I didn't read his books and I didn't spend a lot of time listening to his interviews with JC. But a lot of people, when he first started getting this um, airtime, a lot of people, my clients, were messaging me saying, "Scott, what's going on? They're taking my angels away," and I avoided it. But finally, I clicked on one of the videos. I listened to the first part of it, and I turned it off, not because I was offended or scared or anything. I've heard this before. This is not new. Um, Especially Dayna and I, coming from Seventh Day Adventist. Um, we've been through this. I think I've 20 years ago, I'm reading, I, when I was reading the Old Testament, and God would say, okay, go to this village down here, where these Canaanites live, kill all the men, and then kill all the women and the children and their pets, kill their donkeys, their chickens, their cats, kill everything, leave nothing alive. I'm like, you know what? This is not my source
Mhm.
of love, creator God. And this guy who's talking about this, he wrote a book and he's trying to sell a book. So he's sensationalizing it. This is my opinion, okay?
Mhm.
And JC is a broadcaster. He gets and I respect him and nothing against JC at all. But you have to remember these guys are trying to get um, views, even though I think they may have lost a lot of viewers with that
Yes,
topic.
and the cards showed that as well. It was the Eight of Cups is when someone's walking away. Is that
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that came up. So, you know.
Did I do that? I don't remember that.
No, no, it was on one of the shows. I can't remember which one.
Okay. Yeah, no, no. Yeah, and people told me I'm never listening to JC again and stuff like that. I don't
Yeah.
feel that way. It's just
Mhm.
information, you know. It's
Right.
how you take. So, okay, so we can leave that topic behind, right? And get
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
brighter, happier stuff.
absolutely. Yes. I will say one thing, last thing. When you hear someone say everything is this or that, you
Mm.
take that with a grain of salt. All angels are bad? Really? Or all
Did he
archangels?
say that? I mean, because I didn't
All,
listen to it.
all
That's
archangels are bad. I mean, Jay Widener says it more, and he says it in, I guess, the first video. But don't believe us. Go watch the video. What
the,
does it feel like inside? For me, it felt like I was being torn up, and it felt like they were talking bad about my people, like bad about my family, my soul tribe. And I was like,
listen,
this
I've
doesn't
got
sound
I
right.
grew up with this painting, this art of this angel with the children going over the bridge. I love it. I resonate. I feel that I have this angel that's protecting me. I've had encounters, I believe, in real life with angels. I'm not going to tell the stories, but there was one that saved me from being caught in a raging river during a hurricane. I believe that was an angel. You, I believe honey is an angel incarnate.
Mhm.
So yeah, and remember, L just means of God. That's all it
Yeah,
means. It
that's
don't
right.
think it L is something uh, evil. Okay,
That's right. So now we can crack open the research for the positive beings.
that's right.
So for those of you that did not watch the video I did with Honey a couple months ago, I'll just go and talk about the purpose of each angel. And just to give a snippet, we went over color, gemstone, zodiac, chakra part, chakra body part, but I'm not going to go into all of those details. And of course, there's a video that goes over
I
that.
will put
But
the link to that video in the description at the
awesome.
end of the.
Mhm. Wonderful. But we will start with the most famous archangel, which is Archangel Michael. And so Archangel Michael, his purpose is associated with protection, courage, confidence, and safety, guidance on a human's life purpose, fixing mechanical and electronic items as well, which I was surprised when I learned about that. Archangel Michael is mentioned 3 times in the Bible and countless other texts. And he does have a sword of justice. So definitely, when Scott, you were putting the archetypes together with the Major Arcana. I think we both thought that the Emperor was spot on.
Hmm.
That's a lot of protective energy. Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I got. And I don't remember now my exact thought process. I was going through my cards and making these connections, but I also have Michael down as because I gave multiple cards to one
Yeah.
because we do have more archangels. Maybe we could go through and do these, and they can have more than one. So I also put him down for the hermit
Ah,
because of
okay.
guidance, right? You mentioned
Yeah.
guidance.
Hmm.
Um, so uh,
Good.
I don't know if if you have the hermit for another angel. But
Yeah, I do. I ended up with Chamuel for the hermit, but we can when we get there we'll talk about that. But that's a good one as well
okay.
because the hermit does have those aspects for
So who
Archangel.
and who's the other one with the hermit that you mentioned?
I went with Chamuel, Chamuel, who is the seeker of God. The
Okay,
EL meaning of
I don't think I have that.
God. Okay.
I guess I didn't see that one. Okay, great. Well, that's why we're here to
Yeah.
do this. Okay, so who's next?
Okay, so now we have Raphael. And Raphael means God or goddess. I like to put both of them together, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, who heals. So this is his purpose is a healing of humans and animals, guiding healers in the education and practice, guidance and protection for travel as well, and matchmaking and soulmate connection. So when I thought about Raphael, I thought about temperance because
Hmm.
that is a healing card. So that was really good. And also the lovers. And so I gave
Oh,
him two
right.
because of that matchmaking aspect. There's the travel aspect, so maybe the chariot would be good as well, but I didn't put the chariot down for him. Just temperance and the lovers.
And that's Raphael.
Yeah, Raphael. So Raphael.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Raphael for lovers and temperance.
Mhm.
Okay, now I had chosen Sandalphon. Did
Okay.
I say that correctly? For
Mhm.
lovers. And
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why I did. So can you what is the description you have there for Sandalphon?
Yeah, well, Sandalphon used to actually be Elijah. So there are two
Right.
archangels that were from actual human beings, and that was Metatron and Sandalphon. So Sandalphon has a very beautiful energy. Let me, I'm just trying to get some more information. I know it off the top of my head, but I just want to see what I wrote down and what I said in the. So the purpose for him is receiving and delivering prayers between God and humans, working with music, guidance, and support for musicians. Um, so, because of that connection between the messages, that's one reason why I went and spoke about him and the chariot, which we can talk about that when we get there, or we talk about it now. It's up to
Oh,
you.
okay.
Mhm.
Um, so I think the reason I chose the lovers for Sandalphon is because the lovers is our connection to our higher self, which is also our
Ah,
connection to God.
sure.
So okay.
That was good. All right. So we'll move on to Archangel Gabriel. So, Archangel Gabriel, the meaning of the name is the strength of God, Goddess. Because of that, I also wanted to put the strength card as well. But I let me read the purpose and then I'll go into what I chose as well. The delivering important messages and clear messages, helping those who are messengers, such as teachers, writers, actors, artists, and also assisting with all aspects of parenting, including conception, adoption, and birth. Archangel Gabriel is the famous angel in the New Testament of the Bible who told Mother Mary about the birth of Yeshua, Jesus, and also told Elizabeth about the birth of John the Baptist. Archangel Gabriel also came to Daniel while he was in the lion's den with the seven lions and protected him for six consecutive days straight, keeping their mouth shut. So for those reasons, I mean, there's a lot of lion aspects and strength aspects there, but I went with the fool because of the messenger aspect. I feel like the fool just goes out and just says what the fool has to say, and also the empress because of the childbirth aspects. I ended up picking both of them for Gabriel, and Gabriel has been seen as male and female, even though the archangels don't really have um, genders, but for whatever reason, it's very similar to the Major Arcana, where there's more masculine
Mhm.
archetypes than feminine.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this and and put these all together. Okay.
Yeah. But this is a part of the research. Like you guys are watching
Yeah,
us research right now.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
This is how the sausage is made.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right. So we can
Okay,
move on. Oh, did you want to say who you had for
uh,
Gabriel?
yeah. Um, I also chose strength,
Okay.
and like I made my list. We were supposed to do this weeks ago, guys, and I'm just a terrible procrastinator.
Yeah. And I've been busy.
Yeah, and you're real
So,
busy. By the way, thank you so much for your time to be here. We may not get them all done today, so we might
okay.
have to. Guess we're
We're
already.
getting through them pretty good though. I
Uh,
think we'll be done in
yeah, so yeah, I for Gabriel, I got strength, and I got two. I got strength and the Hierophant as well. You
okay.
mentioned because you mentioned like fertility and birth, and Hierophant is the father.
Ah,
You know,
hmm
so that was why I remember doing it. Okay,
Very good.
so
Okay. So Uriel is next, and Uriel is the light of God. So the intellectual understanding, ideals, insights, and epiphanies, study, higher learning, test taking, writing and speaking. Also weather and the sun, because Uriel's color is yellow. Just to bring that up. So for that reason, I picked the sun for Uriel, which is warmth, weather, golden light. That just really felt like a good pair.
okay, I don't have that on my list, so that's great.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So the sun for Uriel. And then
Cool.
if you want, we can just jump into Chamuel.
Hmm.
Some people say it differently, but I say Chamuel because it's Chamuel, and that's he who sees God, goddess. So that's the universal and personal peace is that's his purpose, finding whatever you're seeking as well. So like a seeker. So for that reason, I did use the hermit because the hermit has that lantern, and the hermit is seeking, looking, the seeker, basically, using a lantern to find what is lost, is what I put down for that
Great.
archetype. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And now we have Ariel. So Ariel is the lion or lioness of the god goddess. So the purpose for Ariel, Archangel Ariel, is connecting with nature, animals, and the nature spirits like fairies, dragons, elves, manifesting your earthly material needs, guidance for a career or vocation in environmental or animal welfare. And I did pick the strength card for Ariel because of the lion, to be honest with
Hmm.
you. Yeah, and Ariel comes in as a feminine aspect for me. Maybe not for everyone, but for me. And with the lion, you have a female taming the lion in the Major Arcana.
So I don't know what my reasoning was, but I chose Ariel for the Fool and I for two
Oh,
for the Fool and the Empress because I also got
okay.
that feminine energy from it. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm
hmm
wondering why did I? Let me look at my notes on the Fool. Why? What was it about the Fool that? Can you read to me again the aspects of Ariel?
Absolutely. Yeah, so Ariel connecting with nature, animals, and nature spirits like fairies, and then manifesting your earthly material needs. Maybe that was it. Guidance for a career or vocation in environmental or animal welfare.
Hmm. Maybe that just doesn't fit with the Fool at all. So I'm going to scratch that off, or
Yeah.
I'll have to revisit that, see what I was thinking at that time.
Yeah, research in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we move to Metatron. Metatron is Enoch. So in the Bible, you have Enoch, the ascended human and seventh generation after Adam, the great great grandfather of Noah, basically, based off the research. Metatron is associated with the Merkaba or Metatron's healing cube, or the flower of life. And some have said that Metatron became prideful and fell into shadow. Gene and then Decode says that a lot. And then also, let's see, similar to what happened to Thoth And then also with Metatron, for me, I picked the Wheel of Fortune because of that devil and the fact that it keeps moving. The Wheel of Fortune is always moving, so that deals with time, and he does bend time. So let me read his purpose: sacred geometry and esoteric healing work, working with universal energies, including time management and time warping, and helping highly sensitive people, especially the youth, who are often referred to as indigo and crystals.
All
So
right.
because of the time warping and the sacred geometry, when you look at the wheel, there is some geometry there with the circle, the spikes, the spokes inside, the angles.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I loved geometry in high school. It felt like a breath of fresh air for math class. Hmm.
I don't know. I never got out of basic math, but I did love the uh, Spyro was a toy from the 70s where
Yeah.
you had a big outer gear and an inner gear, and you would put a pen in the hole and then go around the gear, and it would make these incredible like cymatic type of designs. That's as close as I got to geometry as a kid.
It's awesome.
And I forgot
So
who did we just talk about?
we just talked about Metatron, and I put the Wheel of Fortune to Metatron because
Oh,
of
that's
the
right,
bend.
Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna pause and let you continue because
Perfect.
I have
Okay.
something else for the Wheel of Fortune, but I don't want to get ahead. So
That's good. Okay, so we'll move on to Sandalphon. So that is Elijah, who is ascended human and biblical prophet. So receiving the purpose for Elijah, receiving and delivering prayers between God and humans, working with music, guidance, and support for musicians. So for him, I did put the chariot because of the successful answer of prayers. Also, willpower and determination is a part of the chariot. And when I think of the chariot, I think of a messenger because it's
hmm.
there's a travel involved in that. So that's why I picked that one.
Okay. So
Mhm.
I added Sandalphon to the chariot, but I also had Sandalphon for the lovers.
Okay, that
And
makes sense too. You
yeah,
said it
because of
depends. Okay.
like
Mhm.
music and love
Mhm.
go together. And so and he inspires music, right?
Yes.
Sandalphon,
Mhm. Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
musical muse.
Right. And
Okay.
his zodiac sign works with Pisces. That's in the longer
Oh,
video that I. But yeah, so it's
and
perfect.
Pisces and the lovers go together as well.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, it can be more than one. So Azrael is next. The meaning for Azrael is whom goddess helps. And purpose for Azrael, Archangel Azrael is the healing, grief, and bereavement, helping souls cross over, and assisting grief counselors and hospice workers. And I thought a natural fit for that was the death card. Death doesn't necessarily mean death in the tarot, but it's transitioning from one form to another. And I think he does a great job with that. And
That's right.
long, slow change.
That's right. That's perfect.
So
And I had
wonderful.
not, and I didn't have that one too. So
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Another piece of my
Now
puzzle coming together.
wonderful. Yeah. So now we move on to Jophiel. Jophiel means the beauty of God, goddess. The purpose is beautifying and uplifting your thoughts and feelings, clearing clutter out of your life. And for Jophiel, I went back and forth, but I decided the world card because the world card is it's gorgeous. It is that wholeness, that
Hmm.
coming full circle, beauty, and the sense of belonging.
Perfect. And what's
Yeah.
that name again?
Jophiel. So Jophiel. Jophiel.
Great. Thanks.
Wonderful. So now we'll go to Haniel. And I think we both knocked this one out of the park. So
Uh,
Haniel means the grace of God, goddess. The purpose for Haniel is awakening and trusting your inner spiritual gifts of intuition and clairvoyance, releasing the old, support and healing for women's physical and emotional healing health issues. Haniel actually visited me. So that was a beautiful connection that I have with her. And with sensitive people, she um, sensitive people can see flashes of light or sparkles of colors associated with the archangel, and their physical within their physical eyes. So that's basically what happened to me. I woke up one morning and I saw a lot of corn flower blue sparkles in the bedroom, and I was just like, "What's going on?" And the night before, I had wrote her name down to help her in. I wanted to invoke her while I was sleeping, so definitely did that. And we both picked the star
Yeah.
for, yeah,
Yeah. And
perfect. Hmm.
that was last week. I was during my taking questions with Honey.
Hmm.
Um, Honey got a message from her archangel, and I thought to myself, I wonder if I can figure out who that is. I drew three cards, and the star was there. So, and
Yeah. And I love that there's virtue and vulnerability in the star,
mm,
and also making your weakness into a strength. And that's something
that's
that
right.
comes up in the video with Honey, is to learn something and share it with people. And for me, it was learning how to go from abject fear of childbirth to like just knocking my childbirths out of the park.
Right.
I'm doing that with hypnobirthing, and that's what I'm teaching now. So for me, Haniel is like right here in my heart.
It's wonderful
So
work you're
yeah.
doing, by the way.
Oh,
And
thank
in this
you.
age, I think after things that a lot of people have done, and the environment that we live in, giving birth is probably harder than
Mhm.
ever. So,
Yeah, and hijacked. Yeah.
so,
So
so thank you for your work. It's very
thank
important.
you. Yes, I made a lot of videos on that on my YouTube channel, so you guys can go watch those.
Oh,
But
I'll have to put a link to your channel in the description as well.
mhm, thank you. All right, so let's move to Raziel. Raziel means the secrets of God Goddess. So the purpose of Archangel Raziel is understanding the secrets of the universe, remembering and healing from past lives, understanding esoteric wisdom such as dream interpretation, and clearing your Akashic records. And because of that secrets aspect, I did pick the High Priestess, also the Hierophant, because that's almost like the High Priest in the tarot,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Mm-hmm.
Magician. So he comes in packing, honestly, with
Mm-hmm.
secrets and tapping into your divinity. And because I'm a part of Healing with Honey, when she takes us into the Akashic records, I wanted to beef it up once while I was practicing the meditation. So I asked Archangel Raziel to come in, and he came in like with the thunder. And he has like a Technicolor suit, which could almost be seen as Joseph's robe of many colors
Yep.
in that way.
Yep.
But there's just he's fun, and he's just right there. Just I don't know how to explain it, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
I
so
love
funny.
it.
When you said the name, uh,
Mhm.
immediately thought razzle dazzle, which goes
Yeah,
perfectly with your description. Uh,
that's
and
great.
and because of the connection to past lives, I think this is
Mm.
why I did that. I can't remember what my reasoning was at the time. I've got him for the Wheel of Fortune. Does that make any sense to you?
It does because of destiny and how that's probably the Wheel of Fortune is connected probably to the Akashic records. So I could see that. Hmm.
And it kind of, I just had this image of my mind. You know how when you go to a carnival and they have that big Wheel of Fortune where you buy a ticket and then they spin the wheel and you could win $10,000 or whatever. I just had this image of Raziel by that, wearing his razzle dazzle clothing, all sparkly, and spinning the wheel and saying, "Step up! You never know what you'll get." So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune goes well with Raziel as well.
That's funny. That's good. And we only have three more. This is wonderful. So
Oh,
Raguel
perfect.
is Archangel Raguel is the friend of God, goddess, and the purpose is healing arguments or misunderstandings, bringing harmony to situations, managing relationships between angels. So having the angels talk to clear an argument. And humans and higher selves connecting with them as well, and attracting your soul tribe and wonderful new friends. It's very Aquarian. So I picked justice because of the karmic relationships and because it's a karmic card. And most of our karma comes from relationships.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have him for Justice as well. But
Nice.
I also have him for Temperance.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it's because of bringing like as you were
Mm.
reading the description, bringing two things together, bringing balance.
And that's a
Now,
very Aquarian card, the water bearer, the
um,
temperance card.
yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
And but this is I want to mention what Janine had said, that it's said, I don't know by whom,
Mhm.
the way she put it, it said that the angel in temperance is also Archangel Michael, but I don't know. She didn't give any reasoning for that. I don't know if that's just like so I wanted to show temperance
Yeah,
so people can see. Hopefully I can do this. So yeah, that's temperance.
beautiful.
And so no, I this doesn't have the Michael. He doesn't have a sword, right? Michael
Not
has a sword.
necessarily. Hmm.
So and I'm not disagreeing with Janine, and I don't remember if I heard it correctly, but no, I don't think that that's Michael. Okay, so we got temperance as Raguel and
Yeah.
Raphael. Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, Raguel for justice, actually. That's what it, but yeah. Honestly, when the temperance card comes up, it is an angel, so it kind of connects with all of these on some sort of level, but we're really looking at the archetypes for this.
Oh,
Mhm.
justice. That's what I should have been looking at.
Yeah, justice because of the karmic
Sorry.
aspect. That's okay. So now we're going to move to Jeremiel, Jeremiel, and that is the mercy of God, goddess. And the purpose
Mhm.
for Jeremiel is developing an understanding of spiritual visions and clairvoyance, also conducting a life review so you can make adjustments with respect to how you wish to live. So life reviews can be done when you pass over, or on a Tuesday night when you need help, and come visit me in my sleep. I am protected, and let's have a life review so you
Mhm.
can just get through everything. And I put the judgment card for that because
Oh,
I consider that some sort of it is like an awakening,
mhm.
like a life review, self evaluation, and basically an awakening, because that card is very, let's trumpet and wake up everyone.
Judgment. Let me write that down. Okay,
Mhm.
because I got death for that, which is also
Yeah.
when when you're going through some major change in your life, like you're changing careers or religions or something like that, you're looking back at things that haven't served you and you're making changes. So it fits well with death as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of
Death
sense. Yeah.
and you said uh judgment,
I
right?
said judgment. I picked
And
judgment.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they both of those fit well. So let me judgment.
Yeah. And we're at the final one, which is good. I think we did good.
Who was that? Who was that last one we just did?
Yeah, Jeremiel. Jeremiel.
Right. Okay, I got it. So I want to
Yeah.
add him to justice.
Mhm. Wonderful. And
Jeremiah. Okay.
yeah. So we've made it to the last one, and out
Wow.
of
Right.
thousands, we only highlighted 15, I believe. So
Mhm.
Zadkiel is the last archangel, and that is righteousness and of the god goddess. So the purpose of Zadkiel is the keeper of the violet flame, and we've heard a lot about that during these times. Also helps students remember facts and figures for test, helping with painful memories, remembering your divine spiritual origins and mission, also choosing forgiveness, practicing unconditional kindness and love. And so for that, I picked the hangman because some of this stuff takes time. Forgiveness takes time. Practicing unconditional kindness and love takes a lot of time. And for me, that's, long-term memory, the hangman taking time to choose forgiveness, to become enlightened.
Can you spell that angel's name?
Yeah, Zadkiel, Zadkiel. Zadkiel.
Yeah, I didn't have that one either. So
Okay.
great.
Yeah. So, and that's all of the major. We kind of double dipped a little bit, but that's okay. And
Mhm.
I did, while I was learning all of these, I made like a little cheat sheet and I kept it in my car. Which is
Great.
all the names. their purpose, their color, and it just helped me to memorize it and just keep it on the top of my head. So as I talk about this in the video with Honey, I was able to, ask some of them for help at certain times. They got me to work. I had a schedule when I was running 5 minutes late, little
Yeah.
things like that. And I think everyone could tap into them. You don't have to remember their name. Just remember the purpose and what you're going for, and I think you'll be fine. But I think we all need this right now. So in these hard times, and there's more psychic attacks than ever. So just find something that's positive and roll with it.
Mm.
Mhm.
I love your notes. They're so organized and beautiful. Can you send me a copy of that? Because look, these are
Yeah,
my notes. This
nice.
is this is what my notes look like.
Yeah, that's okay.
I I was a teacher for 20 years and I used to have to take meticulous notes and do a lot of stuff. Now I don't want to do anything like that. So I it's all in my head type of stuff. Well, this
Yeah.
was fantastic,
Oh,
Dana.
thank
You did a
you.
great job on this. I'm so glad you were able to join me for this. And we have a few minutes left, so I said that I would take some questions.
And I can help
Um,
you in the chat.
okay, we're just 10 minutes and then we're out. Okay. Um, Let me pull up my chat here. And thank you everybody who joined us today live for this. And if you're watching this in replay, Dana, would you mind if I task you with
Sure.
choosing questions? Um,
Yeah. I don't think we,
you're gonna be my helper for the next
yeah,
10 minutes.
you got it.
So whatever resonates with you, or if there are any super chats, which I don't see.
I'm not seeing it yet.
Okay, so you got any questions for the cards out there? Check my coffees.
Hmm. Yeah, check to see if you got any super chats as well, I believe.
And no, I don't see any.
Mhm.
So things are really kind of slow this time of year for me. So I would just like to encourage people out there that if you've never gotten a reading before because you thought it was too expensive or you know you just didn't know who to go to, well, I'm giving this special if you've never been my client before, first time, 1 hour for $55, which I don't think you can find a tarot card reader out there for that price. Have you
Yeah.
seen any questions in the chat, Dana?
Uh,
I've got none in coffees.
okay, so Maria is asking what's the type of channeling? Maria Weiss, I believe. What's
Mhm.
the type of channeling I am being called to? Mhm.
Hmm. So I don't know a lot about channeling. Do you, Dana? What are the different types of channeling that one can do?
Um, I think channeling, some of it is from your higher self, maybe some from other entities, making sure that those are benevolent, but like a collective entity, almost like Abraham Hicks. That could be something. Or Bashar, is that the type of channeling that you were thinking about, Maria? What type of channeling? And channeling could be, you could be using divination tools as well. So, what
Mhm.
you're doing, Scott, with the tarot could be considered channeling as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I like to think that I'm channeling my higher self that has access to the Akashic record,
Yeah.
and so I drew three cards for Maria, and so she's not to be channeling any type of other entity but her higher self,
Yeah.
and all aspects of her higher self. So if you think of your higher self as a gem, like a gemstone that has many facets, and so the type of channeling you want to do is connecting with your higher self and the concurrent lives that you have running at this time. Okay. Because
Okay.
um, we all have multiple incarnations of our higher self that are running. There is no time, right? Everything's happening at the same time. So they're all running concurrently. So you're able to tap in to any one of those, and that way you can get the answers to the things that you're looking for now. Okay.
Great. Yeah. That is one. Yeah, that's really good. And she did reply back, yes, visual, divination, or oracle, vocal, question mark. Not the direct term. Winners of the cards had something. Winners of the okay. So yeah, I think you nailed it. This was
Okay.
good.
Great.
Yeah. So Stacy has a question. I feel a connection to Raphael due to my Reiki healing. That is spot on. Can you see if that is a good angel to work with? I'm already getting a download that is with Raphael, those healing hands, basically, that you're using that and you're just bringing the energy out. If you are attracted to green, because the emerald green color is Raphael's color, and if you're seeing that flow through you while you're doing Reiki, then you're on point. So I'm saying look for the color, and that'll go with the archangel to work with. But if it's green, then green is for healing and the heart chakra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned that recently, how green is connected to the heart chakra. And I don't have a lot of green. So when I heard about that, I started surrounding myself with the color green.
Yeah.
Because I'm and I'm trying to reduce the amount of blue in my atmosphere because that's the heart chakra, and I tend to talk too much and too loud. So I'm trying to reduce my throat chakra and increase my heart chakra for more empathy.
Nice. Yeah, and it helps. Wearing the actual color helps as well. So I found myself wearing a lot
Right.
more orange when I was pregnant because that's the
That's
sacral chakra.
that's
It's
right.
beautiful.
Mhm.
And then Stacey L has another question. I have a court date coming up to see if I can get the emergency protection order extended. Can you see what the cards say?
Okay, I'm going to do a 7 card spread on this. Um,
Mm,
if you don't mind, tell me again what's your concern.
absolutely, yeah. So I have a court date coming up to see if I can get the emergency protection order extended. Can
Okay,
you see what the cards say? Yeah.
let's do that.
Mhm. And while you're shuffling, she did say, awesome, thank you. Green was never a favorite color. I love blue also, Scott. Yeah, I think we, in the spiritual community, we connect with the blues and the purples and lavenders because those are like the higher vibrational colors and the higher chakras. But
Mhm.
yeah, those root colors are very important. The
That's
red, the
right.
yellow, the orange, and the green. Hmm.
Yeah, orange is another color that I've never really resonated with.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. You're gonna win this order of protection. Um, there may be something within it that you're not happy about. So, I mean, this is a yes. You're gonna win it. Maybe it's gonna get held up in the courts, or it's gonna take longer. Maybe with this Knight of Pentacle here, but you are in a place of righteousness. In other words, so I mean, not that life isn't fair, but your case is legitimate. In other words, you're coming from the higher moral ground or something like that. So, but yeah, there it looks like there may be some waiting, and it's very important that you focus on the outcome that you want. Okay. but you are going to win it. It's going to be delayed. There might be some delay, like somebody might try to make this drag this out longer. I don't know what that means in this case, but eventually you will win the Order of Protection. Okay. All right. We have time for one more. If you see it there, anything there.
Yeah, just scrolling back up. I think everything at the beginning was saying hello. Yeah, nothing yet.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this broadcast, then I would appreciate any super chats you can do because this is how I make my living, and I would be slacking if I didn't encourage you to support me. So my buy me a coffee link is in the description. If you want to help me out that way, you can do that as well. Anything else you want to add, Dana, before we leave?
Yeah, so I mean, I think connecting with the angels at the beginning helped me to connect with spirit babies, and that is what I do now. It's very on the side right now, but I know it's going to be bigger. So my website is fromfertilitytodelivery.com. I am going through some branding, so my website is actually down, but I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And I am on X, but I just need to have more of a presence there. But from fertility to delivery is the hashtag, and that's my email address. You'll see everything on social media. And for those of you that you have a humanitarian project, you're not really sure what it needs to be. Like I can barely give time to this, but whatever I can scrap up, I do it. I have a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, husband, mortgage, not in that order. So and life is busy. So, and whether your life is busy or not busy, just, start a free Instagram. And if you're interested in art, put your art on Instagram. And that is going to be a part of the new awakening and the new era that we're moving into.
Okay.
So just, don't sit on your laurels. Let's get out
Yeah.
there and do it. And if you are in the path of fertility or infertility, or if you're pregnant, I'd love to work with you. So reach out to me via email, direct message, whatever you need. Thank you.
Or if you have children or grandchildren who are
Oh,
pregnant and going through it.
yes.
So
Mhm. Thank you.
yeah, you mentioned humanitarian projects. I'm getting a jump on mine. Mine is if I can ever trade in my 50 million Zim that I have, and if I end up getting a couple of $1 million for it, I'm going to open cat and dog sanctuaries in Southeast
Mhm.
Asia, and I've gotten a start on that by adopting. I've adopted a cat, Lenny, that was living on the streets, and he still chews on plastic bags to this day because I think that's how he used to get food, by people leaving their trash around. He just chews on plastic. Anyway, Lenny, I got Sandy, you guys know, and I'm adopting now Layla, uh, a Shih Tzu poodle um, Pomeranian mix.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have 3 dogs, 2 cats. Who knows how many more animals I'm going to have before I actually get my sanctuary. Thank you for the coffees, whoever just did that.
Mm.
All right. So, Dana, I'm going to let you go. I know you're very busy. Thank you, everybody who joined in the chat. And thank you, Dana, for your incredible research. And we'll have to come back and do another 15 archangels because we've got more cards that are lacking angels.
So funny. That's true. Thank you for having me again. And this was really fun. And I think we both really connected with angels. They've been a part of our lives, and it just, I just can't get enough. They're beautiful and they're benevolent and they're here to help. So call on them, and especially the guardian angels. Everyone that is not an NPC has up to 4 guardian angels. So then they're just waiting for you to call on them to help.
Well, thank you so much for your research. You did an excellent job on it, and I'll have you on again sometime.
Wonderful. Thank you, Scott. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Dana. Good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Good night and good morning.
Hold on, Dana.